Hey guys, it's Psychosis again, and today I decided to just drop another review for you guys. They're not the best, but today I'm going to try to mix it up and finally talk about an album in a genre that for some reason I haven't talked about yet, and that's death metal. And I decided what better way to talking about and reviewing death metal albums than to start off with the very first album I ever listened to, Archspire's The Lucid Collective. Now, starting off with this album, I haven't listened to it in a long time, and like I said, it was the first death metal album I ever listened to when I was about 16. I just found it out from the internet, and I loved it back then. But since I haven't heard in a while, I decided, let's just revisit it and see if it holds up to this day, or if maybe I don't like it anymore. And so yeah, starting off with, the album art looks pretty cool. Really attractive album art. I mean, there's way nicer ones out there, but if you're just trying to look for an album just by the album art, this album art would probably entice you to check it out. Yeah, next thing though, is that this album is a tech death album. So yeah, technical death metal, tech death, whatever you want to call it. So the music's way more technical. There's a lot more skill going on, a lot more speed. And that's the main characteristic with this album, is it's fast. Like, the tempo is just really fast. I guess that's just the defining characteristic of this band. Everything about this band is just really fast. The drums are fast, the guitars are fast. Even when they're slow, they're still a little bit faster than you'd expect to find in heavier genres of music. And I say that because tech death is pretty intense compared for what it is. Like, it's sometimes even more intense than other ones. And that's just the main characteristic. That's the main thing I'll talk about. It was fast. Vocals are fast, guitars are fast, drums are fast. Drums are the fastest thing about this. The drums are absolutely insane. And yeah, there's very few moments in the album where it lets off. And those moments are very brief. And usually the brief moments are just like some sort of like breakdown-y type bridge riff or something where the guitar's going chung 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 for a little bit. And yeah, but like I said, it's not a breakdown. They're just like death metal breakdowns, so it's like more or less just a bridge riff that just connects to the next part of the song. And yeah, that's the main thing. The album's very fast. The production is alright, I guess. It's a little rough. Like, it's clean. It's cleaner than a lot of albums you probably expect to find, or if you have a pre-consensus of what death metal's production would probably be like, it's better than the average or the generalization. It is a little rough though. It's not very rough, too bad, but I mean when I say that is that, like, you can hear the instruments, that's the thing. It just sounds muffled or kind of quiet. Like, you can hear everything decently fine, but it's one of those albums where you kind of have to turn the volume up purposely just so you can hear it even more clearly. And some songs fared worse than others. Like, some, I don't know why, but one of the songs, the production was like really quiet, and then the other ones were like about average to the rest of them. And then one song was just louder than the other ones. Yeah, so yeah, production was kind of rough. The tone's all right. It's just kind of more or less kind of like a standard sounding tone for this genre. And yeah, so production mixing wise, it's okay, average, not very the best. If you're someone who really likes the clean stuff, you won't be disappointed, because this doesn't have clean production. But it doesn't have raw, rough production either. It's somewhere in the middle, somewhere lower though, on the lower end of that, but not too bad, not too great. It basically hits the sweet spot and it doesn't. So yeah, that's the production and mixing, I guess. And yeah, like I said, the drums are absolutely insane. Like blast beats up the yin yang, just a lot of the time. And then yeah, and the guitars, there's a lot of fast solos and fast like alternate picking riffs you expect to find in this genre. And then like I said, there's the chum 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 bridgy riffs, which are always fun. Yeah, the vocals are pretty intense as well. The vocalist is just an absolute monster. He's very, I don't know how he's able to go so fast, but he really goes so fast. You try to follow along and he's always, it seems like he's always like 4 words ahead of you. And he does pull off some really brutal vocals, honestly. Just like screams and growls and stuff. Infinite water and stuff like that. I don't know, I can't do it. Yeah. And then there's like a few screams, like in the song, one of the songs is called Scream Feeding. He does like this high-pitched type scream, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like the vocals a lot. I think that's another thing people like. Just this band, that's this band's defining characteristic. That's why I'm talking a lot about speed, because that's what this band's characteristic is. It's speed. Like they're technical, but really fast. You don't expect to see this speed much in this genre. Like the genre's already fast as it is. But these guys just play so fast. And yeah, songs are average length, I'd say. The longest song was the first song I ever heard from this band. So the first death metal song I ever listened to, which is Fathom Infinite Death. The song's about 5 minutes long, in that range. But other songs are about 4.5 minutes long on average. So average song length, very fast music. Production's kind of mixed. Pretty album artwork. Yeah. That's mainly the thing to say about it. As for how much I like it, I would say I don't like this album as much as I did when I was younger. I've tried to listen to this band before in the past, a while ago again, and it just didn't hit the spot. But that was their other albums, and their newest one just did not do it for me. This one didn't really do it as much either. Like, it's pretty cool how fast it is, but to me it just doesn't jump out to me as much. There's plenty of other albums and bands I'd much rather put on than this band. And so in a way I kind of think this Archspire is a little overrated. But I mean, like I said, if you're new to the genre and you are just looking for something really cool to blow your mind away, especially if you're someone who's younger like how I was, this is the album for you. But yeah, if you're looking for something way more brutal, way more technical, if it's not something that's not extremely fast, but still fast, there's plenty of other bands out there. Death metal is an absolutely diverse genre. It's amazing what falls under the death metal umbrella. All the little subgenres and stuff in albums. And that's why it's a surprise, because this is my first death metal album I reviewed. And death metal is probably my most listened to genre. I probably listen to this genre more than anything else, even my absolute favorite genre, other genres. Because it's not my favorite, but I always find myself putting on death metal, exploring it all, finding new albums to listen to, and then adding them to my wish list on Bandcamp and never listening to them, getting around to listening to them until way after the fact. And yeah. And so that is going to be my review for Archspire's Lucid Collective. There's really not a lot to talk about this album, honestly. It's just really fast, and it doesn't jump out to me as much. I don't have as much of a connection with the music as other albums and bands I've listened to. And that's just the thing too, is like, for me, it just doesn't do it as much for me. But I can see the appeal for this band and this album. And so yeah, As for a final rating for the Lucid Collective, I will give this album about a 6 out of 10. I was originally thinking about a 7, but that was if I were to review it a while ago, but I didn't. I reviewed it now, and I just re-listened to it after a while. And yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Kind of average, but not so, but a little over average, where it is interesting. And yeah, I mean, my favorite moments though, since I'm a pretentious little nerd, and I like the more progressive melodic side of metal, to an extent, I really like the song Kairos Chamber. It's like the one major moment in the album where it slows down, and the one guitarist, he starts playing like this really cool hybrid picking riff at the beginning of the song. It's really brief, really short, but it's a nice little pause and change it up in the sound. And yeah, that's my but yeah, other than that, it's just a really fast album. Has its brutal moments, and it doesn't. Just really fast, a lot of fast technical solos. Yeah, it's just really fast and crazy. Something that pretty much your typical wanky tech death album, which has its fans. Typical Canadian tech death. Those guys lead the way in tech death in terms of craziness. Yeah, I will give it a 6 out of 10. Good album. It's not great. Not exactly my thing. It's one of those albums I'd listen to once in a blue moon, like today, when I re-listen to it for this review again. And yeah, that will be my review for Archspire's Lucid Collective. I hope you enjoy this review. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have any requests for albums or EPs to review or anything, just let me know. I really like finding new music to listen to, and I enjoy reviewing these albums and being a nerd, talking about my opinions on stuff. But yeah, let me know what you think, requests, video ideas, put it down below. Any criticisms, anything goes in the comments. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll see you whenever I make another video again. Goodbye.